We had some major news this morning as it was announced earlier this morning that Connor Zilisch and Junior Motorsports have been granted a playoff waiver and are still eligible for the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to the video. As I just said in the Senate, we got some pretty massive major breaking news from this morning as it has been officially confirmed by NASCAR and Junior Motorsports themselves that Connor Zilisch has officially received a playoff waiver and will still be eligible to race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs in 2025. Here's a statement from Junior Motorsports this morning. Connor Zilisch has been granted a playoff waiver by NASCAR, remains qualified for the 2025 NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs. As many of you saw yesterday on the channel, it was confirmed by Junior Motorsports that Connor Zilisch will sit out this weekend's NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Texas Motor Speedway, and Kyle Larson will substitute for him this weekend at Texas. The reason that he is sitting out for this weekend is because he has a lower back injury. Now, where he got that from was at Talladega Super Speedway. During the race and battling for the win with a couple laps ago, he was actually pretty much in control of the race at that point, and coming to the white flag of the race, he had the lead, but he had Jeb Bird on the inside who was trying to take the race lead and trying to win this third career Xfinity Series race and get that third win and second win at Jordan Anderson Racing. But he got a really good push from Jesse Love on the outside lane going down the back straightaway. Jesse tried to make a move to the inside. Connor tried to come down a little bit. There was contact, and Connor Zilisch spun in the inside wall very, very hard. Once he hit the inside wall really hard, NASCAR threw the caution because he had basically complained on the radio saying his back was hurting really, really bad. Now, initially, when he had gotten out of the race car, it seemed like, especially after 15-20 minutes, it seemed like that he was fine, but the adrenaline could still hit from time to time, and he went to go check up earlier this week, and basically the doctors told him that it would probably be the best decision to go ahead and sit out for a week or so. Now, the one positive situation for Connor Zilisch in this case is the fact that, one, he has been granted a playoff waiver, but he will have a couple extra weeks sit out because they don't have racing next weekend at Kansas for Xfinity. They're also off during All-Star race weekend for North Wilkesboro. So they've got 2 weeks after this week till the race at Charlotte. So maybe we'll see Connor Zilisch back a little bit earlier, and this might be the only race we see him miss. But the most important thing for Connor currently at the moment right now is to make sure he takes his health and safety as a number one priority and make sure he takes that as a number one factor, especially with him being a younger driver who still has a lot of potential. I think the health and safety is the most important thing for Connor Zilisch at this moment right now. But him getting the playoff waiver and medical waiver is not shocking and surprising. We've talked about the waiver situation on the channel. You go back to last year with Kyle Larson, when Kyle Larson, of course, ran the Indy 500 over running the Coke 600. Now, granted, he was going to run the Coke 600 and finish that event, but because NASCAR called the race due to humidity, they didn't get Larson a chance and opportunity to get back behind the wheel of the race car. There was this whole waiver discussion and debate, and it led to a whole thing for over a week or so. The NASCAR eventually granted the waiver, and because people in the industry were not very happy about that, they changed the waiver policy going into this year. Obviously, if you get a suspension, if you have to miss because of reasons that are not medical or other reasons like that, like running the Indy 500, for example, they're probably not going to give you a medical waiver, but because Connor Zilisch fits in the medical situation, I think this is the right call to go ahead and get it. And I think, again, back injuries are very, very serious. I think it's a very important thing that Connor Zilisch takes his health and safety as a number one factor currently at the moment, because Connor, in my opinion, has had a very, very good season up to this point. You think about how strong this number 88 team's been. He's had a lot of speed. He just hasn't had all the finishes to show for. He got that win early in the year at Circuit of the Americas. We know he's going to be a major factor later year at all the road course races. He's going to have a chance to win Sonoma. He's going to be the favorite to win that Watkins Glen race, even though Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be in that race. Same with the race at Sonoma and Mexico City. He's going to be a favorite to win all the road course races, and with how fast he's been on the oval so far in 2025, I think he's got a good chance and opportunity to win some of the ovals. But going back to the waiver conversation, we have seen a lot of drivers over the years granted waivers. You think about Larson getting granted a waiver. We saw Matt Kenseth get a granted waiver, despite the fact Kenseth had no intentions a few years ago of getting granted a waiver. We've seen other drivers get medical waivers, and a big reason is because of the playoffs. Now, obviously, I think there needs to be conversation about the playoff format, whether or not we need to have waivers and all this stuff anyways, but I do think in this case, in this situation, when you do have a driver that does get hurt, I think this this is the right call, but we've seen a lot of drivers, like I said, Kurt Busch got granted a waiver a couple years ago if he did make a return to NASCAR, which he still has not made a return at this point. Tony Stewart, he got granted a waiver in 2013, I think 2014, I'm pretty sure, and also 2016 when he got injured in an off-road accident. Chase Elliott, when he got injured before the Vegas race a couple years ago, he got granted a medical waiver. Same with Alex Bowman, he got granted a waiver as well for that. I think in those cases, I think a waiver is absolutely justified. Now, when we get down the road and we have suspensions come into play, which we could have talked about this with Cindric, right? Cindric could have gotten a waiver, but he would have lost all his playoff points. And you think about the fact that Cindric made the playoffs now with that win. Imagine if he got in a suspension. None of those points he got would have gotten matter. He would have been in the playoffs, but he wouldn't have any playoff points currently at the moment. And I think Cindric has shown some pretty good speed in the early portion of the season. But that's not the point. The point is the fact that, one, Connor Zilisch, at least he will be taking some time off currently at the moment, just at least for this week. Going to his substitute driver, Kyle Larson, of course, we know he's going to be the favorite going into this race. He's not going to, only one, being probably one of the fastest cars in the field. The 88 car and the Junior Motorsports cars in particular, in my opinion, have been the strongest team, and they've been the fastest organization on a week-by-week basis in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this year. Justin Allgaier has been the fastest car overall at that team. Sammy Smith's been having a career year up to this point, despite the fact of what happened to Marshall. He's been doing a really good job, and Carson Quaffle has jumped inside the top 5 in points because of his consistency in recent weeks. And then Zilisch has had some inconsistencies, but I think he's been the second or third of the Junior Motorsports cars on pure pace and speed early in this year. And I think Larson, especially with how good he's been in those races, he, of course, probably should have won the race at home, so he absolutely should have gotten it done there. And you think about, how well he ran at Bristol, dominated that race, led almost the whole entire race. I think it led 276 or 277 of the 300 laps, and he's led a lot of laps in Cup. And a little fact, the times he's run Xfinity, he's gone on to win the Cup Series race, so he might have the opportunity to go get that Cup win. But I think Larson, especially in the circumstances, I think he's got to be the favorite going into the event, and I think he will have a great chance and opportunity to get that second win of the year in Xfinity, looking for his third Cup win this weekend as well this season, his 32nd career Cup victory. I think Larson has a great chance and opportunity to do that. But for Connor Zilisch, you think about this too. Will he be ready to go back and run the Coke 600? Because he's got the Coke 600 coming up in about a month from now. Again, the big positive is that he does have a couple weeks to rest. The Xfinity Series takes some time off. I think they're just taking precautionary measures. Back injuries are very, very serious, but I'm glad to see NASCAR did the right thing here and gave him the medical waiver. I'm not surprised that they did it. I knew they were probably going to give him a waiver for what happened here, but I think they made the right call, right decision to go ahead and give him the playoff waiver. I think it was the right call to go ahead and give it to him, and I think they made the right decision to give it to him. So, that is going to be today's special breaking news on Connor Zilisch receiving a playoff waiver. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links description below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's episode. You think that NASCAR made the right call? I guarantee many of you are going to say yes, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below on that. Later today on the channel, I've got more videos dropping. I'm going to have the Xfinity Series race picks for this weekend at Texas Motor Speedway dropping, and I'm also going to have the paint scheme video dropping today as well. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to talk more about the Connor Zilisch news that came out yesterday. We're going to talk about some other stuff around the new streaming service that I got announced earlier today. Also, the news on the lawsuit between Legacy Motor Club and Rick Ware Racing as well. We had a big update on that yesterday as well. We're going to have content coming up. People like Haley Deegan, Shane Van Gisbergen, Cards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Cletus McFarland, Matt DiBenedetto, Frankie Muniz. Again, Ross Chastain, Trackhouse, Dodge, Honda. We've also going to have the Truck Series race to be more than likely tomorrow as well. Saturday, we're going to have the Xfinity Series race to be and reaction to Cup Series qualifying as well. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a short review of the Cup Series race, talk about who won the race, maybe some of the big headlines from the event. And I also should have the starting lineup video dropping for the War 400 as well. And then Monday, we should have a NASCAR news video discussing news over the course of the last couple of days. Got a lot of really good content dropping very soon as we get to May. Some silly season stuff should be coming very soon, and some big news should be dropping in the near future. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.